Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. Now in its 11th season, this inspiring show brings together powerful voices and conversations designed to help you lead with purpose and live with intention. Rebecca is the CEO of RHG Media Productions, founder of Your Purpose-Driven Practice, and international best-selling author, co-host of the Women Rising TV show series, and a media personality who has been featured on ABC, NBC, Fox, Huffington Post, and Thrive Global. Now, here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome, everyone. This is Rebecca Hall Gruyter, and I'm just so excited to connect with all of you today. I've been preparing for the show, and I'm really excited to talk about the courage it takes to begin again. And how does creativity, healing, hope, and taking center stage, how does that all fit together? We have two amazing guests today that are going to be leaning in to help guide us along this path. I know you're going to love them. One of them you have met many times if you're one of our frequent listeners. And the other is just a dear friend of mine as well that I'm excited to introduce you to. So I know we're in for a treat today as we come together and connect in. And to support you in doing that, I invite you to take a deep breath in through your nose, all the way to your toes. In fact, you can wiggle your toes. Make sure air is getting down there too. That's oxygen to every cell in our body. Then you breathe out. Breathe out almost like through a straw that you're pushing out. Beautiful. And as you're breathing in again, I want you to picture all this beautiful support and oxygen coming in, especially designed for you, just drinking all of that in as you breathe it in. And then you can breathe out. Again, releasing. And I picture releasing what no longer serves with gratitude, creating room and space for more. And as we're connecting in mindfully and purposely into this space filled with support and room for you, sometimes our you-ness gets crowded out with all of the things that pull at us. So this is a reminder that this is your time for you. Keep breathing, an opportunity to be present, to be, and to receive. In fact, let's close our eyes. You're absolutely safe. Put both hands on your heart. And take a moment and really breathe in. What does it mean to begin again? We can even look at each new day as a new opportunity. Fresh day, we get to start and live on purpose each moment of that day. So what is beginning again? What does that mean to you? And as you're pausing and exploring that, I encourage you to notice the beat of your heart. Just notice. You can close your eyes. You're absolutely safe. And as you're noticing that beat, notice the pause in between. That little quiet space. And in that space, what is it whispering to you today? What is it reminding you of each pause, beat pause at a time? What is it that you need today to encourage you, to support you? What is it reminding you of? How is it tying into creativity, healing, hope? What do you need today to support you. Beautiful. Receive that information and come back into the room, fully present. Take a deep breath to support that. Okay, fully present, eyes open, and take a moment and write down what was laid on your heart, what it is that you need, and are willing to receive, because you have choice. So see if that shifts it any and write that down. Let's stop that from swirling around in you and actually write it down, bring it into reality, and we can start to co-create with that. Beautiful. I'm going to go around our virtual room and invite each of our amazing guests to share just what was laid on their heart when they took a moment to stop, pause, and listen and see how that adds to what you're writing on the paper. Dr. Zoe, I'd love for you to share what was laid on your heart.
So in my heart, I felt brightness, like sunshine, brightness, friendships, and that special love that we give each other. Not only because we love each other, but because we feel it from each other energetically.
Beautiful. I love that sunshine, brightness, love, friendship, and that special connection and love that we share. Beautiful. Thank you. How about you, Sherry? What was laid on your heart?
What was laid on my heart was I'm not alone and I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be.
Mm.
And that big stage that we're all standing on, I'm not alone on it.
Mm. Thank you for sharing that. I think so often we do feel alone. And it's important to remind ourselves that we have each other. We're not alone, and we can connect. Even if we're in distant places, we can still connect in the heart and energetically in all those stages in our lives that we get to step into and onto. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I think for me, when I stopped and paused, I felt a smile in my heart. My heart was just happy. And I felt that radiate through me, this joy that we can just connect and be together. And I just receive it as a huge blessing in my life. I don't take it for granted. I appreciate that we get to come together and connect on a heart level. And every week we have this set time that we do that and we come together, and that makes my heart happy and full. And I hope that you feel that, listeners, as you are connecting, and that you feel our hearts, you feel our connection as we begin our time together today. And we are getting ready to go to our first commercial break. And this is an opportunity for you to really stay present in that energy. Resist the urge to multitask, stay present, and continue to listen to what your heart is sharing. And we'll continue our conversation in just 2 minutes.
Follow Voice America at facebook.com/Voice America for juicy updates from your favorite radio shows and podcasts.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Voice America programs are now available on your favorite connected device, including Amazon, Alexa, and Google Home. Through streams with Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio, listening to your favorite show is as easy as saying the show name followed by the word podcast.
Hey, Alexa, play Finding Your Frequency podcast.
If that doesn't work, try adding on TuneIn or on iHeartRadio or on Apple Podcasts.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or would like to connect with Rebecca or today's guest, we'd love to hear from you. You can email Rebecca at rebecca@yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. You can also find free resources, empowering articles, and inspiration through Continue the Momentum and RHG Magazine, created to help you keep moving forward in your purpose. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that pause, that 2 minutes to just be. I find it so interesting when I can carve out 1 minute, 2 minutes, and just pause and breathe. I find my whole system calms down. I become more centered and present, and I'm able to lead more from my heart and more purposeful in my decisions and how I move forward. I'm not in a reactionary state, but a more purposeful state. So we've built these 2-minute moments in throughout the show to support you, to give you a moment to pause, to just be, to receive and bring in all that serves that's being shared, release what no longer does. So you're actually processing and integrating during our time together today. I'm excited to introduce our first guest. You got to hear from her on a heart level in our opening segment, and I'm really excited to introduce her to you. So Dr. Zoe Ramos is the founder of Forward Foot and Ankle Center in Livermore, California. She has over 25 years experience that she brings together medical expertise, a running mindset as a runner's mindset, and a deep passion for women's health, movement, and healing. She's also the co-host of Women Rising America TV show series. This is the San Francisco group that's part of that show series. And she is passionate about helping you recover, reduce inflammation, and keep moving forward. Please lean in. Warmly welcome the powerful, dynamic, and powerful Dr. Zoe Ramos. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You are very, very welcome. Excited to have you joining us today. And I wanted to start our conversation with why. Why is this work of helping people in this way so personally important to you?
Well, throughout the years, I've seen, what most people have: pain, inflammation. And I used to focus only on the foot. Okay, this is the problem that you have exactly. This is what's going on. And as years have, experience and years go by, and I personally having different problems in my body, different types of inflammatory processes going on, I have learned that your body knows how to heal. And, we learn a lot of things in school, but, they don't teach us that the body is just one whole system. And when something is happening in the foot, there's something else going on somewhere else. And we need to basically make sure that everything else is working properly. And so now I want to make sure that my patients understand that I just don't look at your little problem. There is more. Your body is trying to tell you something, and we need to look at the overall picture and make them understand there is hope. There are many things you can do outside of medicine to help you and to get you where you want to go.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I can feel your passion for this and really helping people understand that. And I love this reminder that our body has the ability to heal. I'd love for you to share a little bit about that. And I love how you're saying that sometimes what is showing up as foot pain is indicating other things that are going on. So can you expand on that a little bit? Kind of what are some of the things to explore, and how do we help support our body in healing?
So sometimes we have like an ankle swelling, it could be because of an injury, but it just doesn't get better. And it causes pain when you're walking, you're always uncomfortable. It doesn't let you exercise. It limits your life. And but then I start asking this patient, for example, has not been exercising for years, and they have been indoors. And this is more for women. They many of them are just indoors, whether they're working in an office or indoors, or they're in their house cooking and doing everything for their family, and they don't get to go outside almost, and they're always trying to serve everybody else. They don't even realize what they're eating, and they don't realize they're not exercising, and now our bodies start creating an inflammatory process in every cell in your body. But then if it shows up on the area that you're putting more weight, that you're doing more activity on, and or that you have an injury because you were doing quick things very quickly. So my point is to make sure that you go back to that person that you were before, or that you feel in one of the things, for example, your blood sugar goes up easily if you're doing all these things that this woman is doing, for example. And so from there, we need to make sure that everybody gets to that point where they realize it's not just the ankle. I will treat the ankle. I will make sure that it gets better. But you need to also help doing these extra things, because it's going to help you overall. It's not just going to be the ankle, and you're going to be able to go back and be active again.
Thank you for sharing this, because I do think we sometimes aren't as active as we think we are or we want to be. And we have pain showing up in one area and we want that pain fixed. And sometimes it can start to show up in other areas because, as you were saying, there's something more going on that has led to that showing up. So I find frequently women will push through pain. I'm curious if you find this as well. Fatigue or physical limitations, we just kind of push through. And we feel that we have to do that because of our responsibilities and we're taking care of everyone else. And we get into this pattern of just pushing through. How does that start to show up in our body, or does it? And how do we start to look at that deeper? And do we need to start shifting things around that?
So yes, for example, that person that has ankle pain is going to start limping or compensating with the other foot. They're going to have problems in their knees, in their hips, in their back, and then they feel like, oh, maybe I have fibromyalgia, something like that, which is a made up diagnosis. And they start looking for the medication that makes them feel better. And sometimes it takes movement. It takes movement, moving the whole body little by little, one step at a time. That's why my practice is forward foot and ankle center, because it's about moving forward one step at a time. You need to let go that fear that because this is bothering me, now everything else, it's going to be getting worse if I don't take all this medication, or if I don't immobilize. Of course, there are times that we need to do that. But most of the time, there are things that we can do that just with a little movement, a little bit more of sunlight. You have no idea how many 40-year-old ladies I've seen with osteoporosis. And that's not supposed to be the case. We were meant to be outside. We were meant to move our bodies, and I will make sure that everything, that your foot problem gets better, but you need to help with helping your system in general.
So what I'm hearing is there can be a structural kind of issue that needs to be addressed, but some of these pains or things that we are feeling, seeing, and experiencing can really be resolved by some movement and getting sunlight and taking a step at a time, that we really want to look at our body as a whole system. Is that a fair understanding?
That is a fair understanding. And my goal is to get that foot better so you can get yourself better, your whole system.
And I know that So I guess a few things are going through my mind here. I love that you're looking at, yes, let's address the reason you came in, the pain that you're having, but let's look at your system as a whole and help support it. Are there some questions that you would encourage our listeners to explore if they keep having this reoccurring pain or they're feeling limited in some way? And they're just becoming more and more limited. What are some questions they should explore or consider looking at as they start to maybe shift, looking at just the area of pain and looking at their body as a whole a little bit more?
So many people, when they rest, sit down or go to bed, and then that first step after getting up is painful, whether it is the heel, the ankle, another part of the lower extremity. That is a sign of inflammation. And then what your body wants to rest more. That's what your body wants to do, thinking if I rest a little more, it'll get better. But then you get up and it's just that pain can translate upwards all the way to your back instead of getting better. So if you feel like you rest and it gets worse, if you feel like once you're resting and you get up, that those first steps are very painful and they kind of get better as you walk, and then at the end of the day they get worse. That's a sign of inflammation, and inflammation is a good thing actually, because it's your body trying to heal itself. That's how our bodies heal. But we want to make sure that it's the good inflammation, not the other parts of inflammation that cause that discomfort and that extra swelling.
Thank you for sharing, because that's a very different perspective on inflammation than I hear frequently. Yes. We don't want pain. We don't like that. Exactly. But that indicator that is, if it's hurting a little bit when we first get up, but it gets better as we move around, that's showing that moving around a little bit more is helpful. And then it gets tired by the end of the day. So just paying attention to that. And how do we know if it's going to the bad part of inflammation?
But when you're not able to be active, when it continues to be very painful all the time. So pain is about one of the bad parts of inflammation. It's one of the signs of inflammation that we don't want, which is why automatically we go for the anti-inflammatory medication, whether it's the NSAIDs, the pills, or the injectables like cortisone injections. They kind of give you relief of pain because they stop the inflammatory process 100%. Temporarily, not forever. But what happens is that you're delaying healing when you stop your inflammatory process. So you get rid of the pain because you got rid also of the good part of inflammation, which is what you don't want. But that's the main. The main is the swelling and the pain are the parts that we don't like of the inflammatory process. But of course, it has to get swollen because your body's sending fluids in the area. The good with the bad.
Mm-hmm. And so understanding that a little bit more and supporting, what are ways that we can support our body if we're noticing some of those things?
So the main thing to me is to start moving it little by little as tolerated. Look for other things to do. Light is super important. We can do free light when we go outside, which is great. Sunlight, the first light at sunrise is red light, and the last light at sunset is red light, because we get the whole rainbow as the day goes by. So you want the whole rainbow if you can, go outside as many times as you can during the day. But that first sunrise light is a healing light. That's why we have red light therapy everywhere. It helps. Most people pay for it, and I actually have it in the office, but you can get it for free outside. So start with that. If you want intense red light, then you can always pay for it to heal faster. But start by doing your own outdoor, getting outside. Walk outside your driveway. You don't have to go too far. Just move your arms if your legs are hurting too much. So do little things like that, and then look into what to do to make it better. Avoid ice. Avoid anti-inflammatory medications. That's stopping the inflammatory process, unless you're in severe pain and you have no choice.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I really appreciate it. And as you reflect on our conversation today, is there anything else on your heart that you really want to share with our listeners today?
So I am more concerned. I have male and female patients, but I notice the female patients are the ones that hold it before coming to me. They have waited so long. They don't stop doing the what's causing the problem. They're cooking indoors, for example, barefoot in a man-made floor. I'm all for about being barefoot, but mostly outside. In a man-made floor, if you have severe pain, if you have gained weight, and you're cooking and standing doing the errands in the house all day, it's gonna cause more problems. And they feel like they have to serve others all the time, and they don't think about themselves. So for me, the most important thing is you need to be well before you can help others. Just like put the oxygen mask first, so that you can help the others, and think about that.
Thank you. I appreciate you sharing that and how important it is that we remember to take care of ourselves so that we can do all the things that we want to do and we are feel called to do. But if we don't take care of ourselves, we're not going to be able to do all of the things that we want to do and feel called to do. So thank you for that reminder, Dr. Zoe. I appreciate it. Appreciate your time today. And as we get ready to go to our next commercial break, listeners, I encourage you to think about what Dr. Zoe has shared with us. And what is a way that you can start listening to your body a little bit more and moving it a little bit more. And I love the tip around the red light in the morning and the evening. I didn't know that. So that was wonderful information that I got to discover today in our time together. So we'll look forward to continuing our conversation in just 2 minutes.
A little birdie told me Voice America is on X. Follow us at Voice America TRN.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Have you become a member yet? Sign up now to become a member of Voice America. It's always free and easy. Plus, you get to take advantage of some great member benefits. Get unlimited access to millions of hours of on-demand content across all of our channels. Keep track of your favorite episodes, shows, and hosts in your own customizable library. Find out what shows you might be interested in based on your favorites. Plus, you get insider access with our newsletter. Membership gives you more. Sign up at voiceamerica.com and click register at the top right.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or would like to connect with Rebecca or today's guest, we'd love to hear from you. You can email Rebecca at Rebecca@yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. You can also find free resources, empowering articles, and inspiration through Continue the Momentum and RHG Magazine, created to help you keep moving forward in your purpose. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes, that opportunity to be and receive and see if there's anything that Dr. Zoe shared that shifted some things in you or has given you food for thought. Those are great things to observe and write down to be able to carry forward with you. And I'm excited to introduce our next guest. And before the show, I was calling her a frequent flyer. She's been on our show many times. I'm excited to welcome her back. And for those of you who are just meeting Sherry, I wanted to make sure I shared a little bit about her as well. So Sherry Lynn Campbell is a #1 best-selling novelist, storyteller, and children's book author, a columnist for the RHG magazine, co-host of the Women Rising America TV show series, the San Francisco Group. And since retiring from teaching, she is following her inner child to explore and write for a wider audience. I would say a wondering wider audience, because she's all about wonder. And she's currently working on the Storyteller's Quilt series and is passionate about helping you embrace curiosity and take center stage in your life. Let's lean in and welcome the wonderful, dynamic, and curious Sherry Lynn Campbell. Welcome.
Thank you, Rebecca.
You're very, very welcome. Welcome back. Excited to have you joining us again. And I wanted to start with, why is this creativity, curiosity, and center stage, why are those things that are important to you?
Well, I think if we didn't have any curiosity, we'd all still be living in a cave, wearing whatever we could find around us, and we'd just be stuck. And I think it's the curiosity in our spirit that forced us to ask questions and then be creative. It's like, well, gee, that bear doesn't ever seem to get cold. Why is that? I do. So what if I had something covering me? And I think, if we move all the way forward from, way back when to now, all of the things, all of these modern wonders, a lot of them came out of stories. One of the best examples of that is Star Trek, of course. We have cell phones. They had tricorders. We have medical devices now that tell our temperatures from far away. We have the DEXA table that we lay on, just like Dr. McCoy's med bed. So we have a lot of these things that came out of somebody's creativity, stuck in a story, and then science took a hold of, and now we have it in our hands and in our lives. It's pretty cool.
I love it. And that reminder that a lot of these advances in technology and the different things that we kind of use on a daily basis are things that came out of creativity and stories frequently that were then brought forward into quote unquote reality. So I love that. And do you feel like creativity is a learned skill, or is it something that we're born with, or do we all have it? We just maybe haven't leaned into it. What are your thoughts around that?
Well, I think it's innate. I think we do all have creativity in us, and creativity does not always show itself in different ways. Or in the same ways. We all come at it kind of from different angles. So chefs are very creative. They look at the ingredients that they have, and they put those together and make a tasty, healthy meal. Writers like myself, we take words and ideas and things that we want to bring forward, whether it's in a story or a poem or in something that will get turned into a song. Artists use visual stuff. They look at what colors mean and how does it make people feel. And so there's so many different forms of creativity. Fashion, to me, is a huge area of creativity. I mean, at one point, we were all swimming in wool, which sounds awful. And now we swim in things where we can go fast in the water like dolphins. And and our cars, all the things. There's creativity so embedded in everything we do. Some kids are wow creative. Other and they don't even think that they're creative. It's just kind of who they are. And it comes out in mathematics and writing and in physical athletic skill. And some of us learn creativity that's innate in us in other areas that we stretch into. And I think that's really important. That's stretching into a different comfort level so that we can all grow and appreciate the creativity of ourselves and of others around us.
Thank you for sharing that and your perspective around creativity. And how does this tie into play, or does it? And
Yeah.
And how and why? I know you feel like play is very important, so I'd love for you to expand on that as well.
Yeah. Okay. So being in the the preschool arena and in education, through kindergarten and then second grade, you realize that children aren't sitting down. The 3-year-old and the 4-year-old aren't sitting down saying, "Okay, today I'm going to learn math." They sit down and they're intrigued by what's before them, and they play with it. In a sense, they're playing. They're not trying necessarily to achieve something. And as an adult, we all say, we're going to achieve. We're going to hit that goal. I'm going to go play soccer because I want to win, or I want to get exercise, or we have a goal in mind. Kids, what I learned from them is they play because it's interesting, because it's an experience, because they want to share that experience with either themselves or with the others that are around them. And as adults, play becomes just another thing that we have to do. We don't give ourselves the freedom to remember the joy of what playing meant. When I grew up, we'd call each other and we'd say, "Hey, do you want to go outside and play?" And there was no agenda other than being together. And if adults in neighborhoods called each other up and said, "Hey, do you want to go outside and play?" I think people would be like, "What, are you on drugs?" But it would be really worthwhile for us to just be able to go out and play and have fun doing that.
I love that. I mean, sometimes we'll say, "Let's hang out." I guess that's our form of playing, and we don't necessarily have an agenda. We might be walking, or might be sitting on the porch watching a movie. Something. We're not always having to have an agenda of what we're going to do, but I feel like we have less and less of those times, and it's more and more structured, and we have a purpose and an agenda and things that need to be done, and that can kind of squish all of the play and exploration out of our lives. I can see such richness by allowing the experience to unfold in being together. Many of us were together this weekend for the Women Rising TV show series. And one of the things I observed in the filming behind the scenes is when the ladies, the co-hosts, had this open time where they weren't being directed on the next activity or the wardrobe change or the next scene and those kind of things. They became very playful and very creative and enjoying being together. And I watched things just unfold as they just enjoyed playing together or being silly or laughing or just kind of being together. And I'm curious if that's the sort of thing you're talking about.
Yeah, it is. It's that that just relaxed being and learning, experiencing each other together, not going to a cocktail party and trying to work the room. and not trying to make sure everyone gets your business card. It's the just put on a little music or not put on music and just share who you are, what your interests are, or just be silly. And it creates such an energy. You know, Zoe talked in the beginning about the sunshine in her heart. That's what play kind of creates in your heart, because sometimes play is so you forget. It's like time doesn't happen. You forget where you are. You're just having fun. There's no ego in it. And sometimes when you're playing, you can get hurt or you could fall down. And then there's the compassion of, oh, let's help each other. You know, I remember making chairs with our arms together and carrying our wounded friend off to the side, and then, you know, getting them water and having a different form of camaraderie that develops. And sometimes play was games and helping each other learn strategies of how to be. That's all stuff where there's just so much togetherness, so much learning and sharing of self without any agenda.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I can just feel that in your energy and spirit as you're sharing this. And another thing that I know you have great passion for is helping us take center stage, be in bigger, show up bigger in bigger ways, more of who we are. And sometimes that can be scary, and yet it's so worthwhile doing. So I'd love to hear your thoughts about being on bigger stages. Do you feel that's important? I know I feel it's important, but do you feel it's important? And what are some ways that we can do that more if it is something that is important?
Well, I guess I'm finally at the place in my life where I feel like it's not a stage for me to find. I'm on the stage. I've always been on the stage, just like each of us are already there on the stage. But it's how are we showing up for that stage? Are we the behind the scenes person? Are we keeping the curtains closed person? Are we, well, you can open the curtains, but don't turn on the lights kind of person? And then I guess I find myself asking if I've been on that stage before and not wanting to open the curtains, why? What is so scary that's on the other side of those curtains? Is it a new friendship? Is it a new opportunity? Is it maybe a big move to a new neighborhood or a different job? What is so scary that's on the other side? And if I stay over here behind the curtain on the stage with, you know, lots of other people who want to be comfortable back here behind the curtain, what am I? It's not FOMO, but it's what opportunities am I just letting pass by and not even being able to say, yeah, I think that's a good choice, or no, I don't want that choice. But by doing and staying behind the curtain or with the lights off, am I selling myself short? And so there have been times in my life where, yeah, throw the curtains open and I'm standing out in the middle, and then I got scared, and then it's like, oh, turn the lights off. Don't let anybody see me. And I'm just going to sit here and cry for a bit. And then that feeling of, is that all that I am? And I think that there are listeners out there that can be in a job maybe, or in a place where they're like, you know, isn't there more? Isn't there something maybe that I want? And maybe it's you've always wanted to be a chef, or for me it was I always wanted to be a teacher. And yet I did all the other things but go back to school and get that master's so I could be a teacher. And it was scary, but I did it. And I guess it's not that I'm so much better than anybody else out there because I did. Some of those changes don't have to be that big. Some of those changes could be as simple as what Dr. Zoe said, go for a walk, get your energy moving, meet the neighbors, feel better about your physicalness and sleep better. There's just, sometimes it's worth opening those curtains.
Thank you for sharing. And we're so glad you did. And that you're sharing the gift of you with all of us today. And listeners, as you're experiencing Sherry and what she's sharing about opening the curtains, I want you to think about as we go to this next commercial break, how can you open the curtains a little bit more or turn that light back on or share who you are just a little bit more? Because I love this concept. You're already on the stage. You're already showing up, echoing out, sharing out. So why don't we do it in a way where it's sharing out more of who you truly are, what you're really wanting to show and share out in the world? And sometimes I feel like we can try to stuff ourselves into a box of how we think we should be, or this is what's familiar with us. So we keep trying to squish ourselves back into that box. But after a while, it doesn't fit us anymore. We can't fit back in because we're evolving, we're growing. And now it's time to really share who you are without the box out into the world. So take these next 2 minutes and really sink into what's been shared, what's speaking to your heart and spirit, and we'll continue our conversation shortly.
Voice America is on LinkedIn. Connect with us today.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
You need to live up to your full potential. You've heard that for years, but now there's a channel to help you get there. Introducing the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Our listeners have told us that they want to be motivated, hear about success stories, and positive encouragement around the clock. And we've responded to you. The Voice America Empowerment Channel is the home of the world's top life coaches, entrepreneurs, and success experts. Listen to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. It's here at voiceamericaempowerment.com.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Find out what makes the most successful people tick. Keep listening to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. voiceamericaempowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or would like to connect with Rebecca or today's guest, we'd love to hear from you. You can email Rebecca at rebecca@yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. You can also find free resources, empowering articles, and inspiration through Continue the Momentum and RHG Magazine, created to help you keep moving forward in your purpose. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that time of pausing and reflecting. I encourage you to look back at what you wrote on your notes at the beginning of our time together, what was laid on your heart, and some of the things that have touched your heart and spirit as we've gone through our time together today, that you've captured some of those things and you've given yourself times to process. Now, I want you to have that paper handy because I'm going to go around the room and have both of our guests share their contact information. And this is a way for you to go deeper, to connect. And just as a reminder, Life is not a solo journey. I don't know where that myth got started, but it's not true. And here's an opportunity to lean into amazing support that can encourage and guide you. So write this information down, and we encourage you. This is an invitation for you to connect and go deeper. So with that, Sherry, I'd love to start with you. What's the best way for people to connect and go deeper?
Okay, so my website is Wonder Eddy, WonderEddy.com. And my Instagram contact is at Wonder Eddy SLC.
Perfect. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. And did you have a final thought or quote that you wanted to just leave our listeners with, share with them today?
I can tell you that each of you out there were born here for a purpose. Each of you out there has something that only you can be and bring to the world. And don't leave it on the table. Be brave enough to appreciate that you are unique and special and worthy.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I was giving everyone a moment to soak those truths in. Beautiful. And Dr. Zoe, I'd love for you to share your contact information, the way people can connect and go deeper.
Sure. My website is forwardfeet.com, like moving forward, the feet. And then I think that's my Facebook too, for maybe Forward Foot. But the main one is Dr. Zoe Ramos, Dr. Zoe Ramos on Instagram and YouTube. On YouTube, you'll find my videos of me, usually when I'm running or hiking with my hair messed up and, just giving more information. That's where you would find me.
Perfect. And do you have a final thought or share you wanted to give our listeners today?
Yes, as Sherry was talking, I was thinking, wow, this is like, it all goes together in the sense that we need to go outside and play and heal at the same time. We not only heal physically, but emotionally. We need to be like our ancestors who were most of the time outside and have our best lives ever. Every day you have to have the goal to have your best day ever. So live without fear and keep moving forward.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate it. Listeners, I'm so glad that you joined us today, and I hope that you are taking some of these insights and perspectives with you. And I encourage you at the end of the time today, instead of rushing off to the next thing, really give yourself a pause, give yourself a couple of moments to just breathe and choose one thing that you're going to take action on and be in motion with as you move forward into the day. Because the day doesn't get to be in charge, you get to be in charge. And that pause and breathing before you step forward helps you stay in charge and choose your next step as you move forward. Now, we would love to connect with you. You can reach out to us on our website, which is yourpurposedrivenpractice.com, or on Instagram, it's RHG Global Community. We'd love to hear from you there as well. And as you go back into the day, I want you to remember that you are a gift. There's no one else just like you. You're absolutely needed for such a time as this, but who you truly are. Really be willing to share that gift with another. Be willing to share and entrust the world with who you truly are. That's how we make a difference, heart by heart, life by life. Being willing to bloom where we're planted, exactly as we're made, and shine, share out the gift of who you are. Have an amazing week, everyone, and we'll look forward to talking to you next time.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter, next Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Empowerment Channel, with a replay on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern and 1 p.m. Pacific on the Voice America Variety Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.